The mental model that changed my life was first, I had to understand I had to get absolutely rid of happiness. The more you wake up and choose and think, oh, I want to be happy. You're a full grown man talking about you want to be happy. What are you, a baby? What are you, a woman? What are you, a little child? You want to be happy? Do I need to get your bib and your pacifier and your milk? So the more you want to be happy as a man, happiness is a must. Happiness is something to be achieved. Happiness is up on top of a mountain. I want you to wake up every day and try to become great. I want to become great. Forget happiness. Happiness is earned. In fact, I believe everything in life, when you try and earn it, it becomes much more grateful. You become much more grateful for it. When you wake up and you say, you know what, I want to become great. And when you become great, guess what you become along with becoming great? No, not great. Happy. You become happy once more. You become happy once you stop trying to be happy and you start to become trying to become great. That is what you will achieve. That is what you will achieve once you start trying to become great rather than happy. Happiness is up on top of a mountain. Happiness is earned. You need to wake up every day. You need to earn happiness. What pain had you go through? What pain did you go through? You're skinny. Look at your arms. You got baby arms. I can rip your arms off of your body. You're a little baby. You're a child. You need to train. The key is to keep training. Every day, if you wake up and train, and you try to make more money, I can guarantee your life will be a success. What is a man without pain? That is a weak man. A man without pain, a man that doesn't train is a weak man. He's a big-mouthed man. He have no discipline. Any man without discipline is absolutely a weak man. This is the mental model that changed everything. You need to wake up and train. You need to wake up and try to make more money. Your arms need to be big. People need to be able to look at you and say, that is a disciplined man. Look at his arms. Look at the way he walks. Look at the way he talks. Look at the way he smiles. That is a disciplined man. That is a man of preem. So when you walk through earth, you need to understand that your body is absolutely a physical component, a physical reflection of your mind. The way that your body looks is a physical reflection of your mind, and most of you are skinny, or most of you are skinny fat. Most of you are not fat yet, but almost there. Your version of skinny fat. So you need to look at it and you need to say that my body is a physical reflection of my mind. So this is why I talk a lot about mental models. Your mental model is how you view the world, how you walk through the world, and how you move. And this is why I talk a lot about getting rid of happiness. Happiness, if you wake up and try to be happy, you won't train. But if you wake up and try to be great, you will train. Those who train becomes greater than them before and they emerge as the champion. Do you understand? And emerging as a champion is not always about winning, it's about trying. Most people don't wake up and try. Most people don't wake up and train. You need to wake up and train every day. Why aren't you training? You need to train like a man. Training is a man's game because there's pain required. So those men who sit in front of the TV and laugh their problems away, watching Sunday football and Sunday basketball games, what are you doing? You're wasting your time. Most of the people sitting around in front of the TV screens, they're gathering around the TV screens, watching the Knicks and watching all these different football games. What are you doing with your time? See, me preem. I'm walking through earth with full capabilities. I'm walking through earth with a mental model of knowing I can do anything. And if I can't do it immediately, I know over time I'll become the best at it. You need this mental model. This is why I talk a lot about mental models, and that's why probably I will open something up in the future. Because I talk about a lot about society, how college is a scam, and how school is a scam, and how working a career is a scam. Now, if I say these things is a scam, I can only provide you a way out. So that's what I'm going to be doing in the future. So stay tuned. There's going to be something big, and I'm going to sit here and I'm going to say, I told you. I told you so. I told you to wait for it. So when I open it up, most people who didn't even want to listen, they're going to be filled with regret. Because in life, the best thing to do is become so monumentally successful that everybody who hated you and doubted you is filled with regret. I want to give you a story. There was a certain person. This person is me. but I'm going to make the story in a way where the person who I'm talking about will understand. The person is me. There's a certain person who said some certain things on the beginning of my journey of starting businesses and talking online and telling me all these different things. They said, you know what? Oh, you're doing this and that. You won't see any results. You're not going to get anything. You're not going to get any views. You're not going to get anything. I ignored it. I said, you know what? They're just hating. And I kept going. And I kept my eyes on the target. And I kept going, becoming stronger, becoming better than ever before. And they started to see. And they started to watch me. And they started to see, okay, he actually is having something to say. Something good that Preem is saying. Preem is saying something good. End up showing him, look, I have this many views in this much time. You said I wasn't going to get any views. Slipped from their mind. They didn't even understand. Years later, down the line, because this is how God works. When you shine your light, you get revenge. Years later down the line, they come to me and say, is it too late? Is it too late for us to start a relationship? You wasn't trying to start a relationship with me when I was down. But now that I'm up, now that I'm working harder than ever before, now that I'm focused on my purpose, now all of a sudden you want to start a relationship. This is not how life works. You should have did it in the beginning. You should never tried to tear me down in the beginning. This is how life works. The best revenge is the success and the light and shining your light from God. Nobody can deny it. So when you're working, this is the mental model that you need. The more light you shine, the more benefits you receive, and men shall give into your bosom. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. You need to understand how reality works. Reality works in a way of universal truth, objective truths. You need to understand and sit down and say, what is true? Well, I know what's true is that if I take more action, if I stop thinking about everything, overthinking, well, I know if I take more action, I get more results. That is a truth that nobody can ignore. And while you start to control your mind long enough so you can see the semblance of Preem, you start to understand that reality is very, very moldable. Your mind is the most important component of reality. Because if you can't even control your own mind long enough, you can't see the results. But those who can see their mind, those who can control their mind long enough, they start to become a master of the 7 styles of Preem. And this is something I will talk about in the future. Let me know if you want the master. Let me know if you want to understand what the 7 styles of Preem is. I'll make a video about it in the future. But you start to become a master of the 7 styles of Preem. I walk through the earth. Do you understand? I walk through the earth not fearing a thing. In fact, I'm going to give you a story of someone who tried to instill fear in me, and I don't have fear. I don't operate from a mental model of fear. I don't let people around me even talk about fear. Everybody around me is programmed to a certain degree to not even bring this garbage around me. Because I listen to Jesus. I listen to Christ, right? And he was one of the most formidable men to walk the earth of the planet. He was a G. Christ was a G, came through. He didn't have no fear. Do not be afraid. What are you talking about? So I started to adopt this mindset, one of my mental models. And I don't let people around me talk about fear. I don't let people around me talk about these things. So I'm going to tell you a story. I'm walking down the street. I'm having a run. Not even walking. I'm running. I'm running because I couldn't sleep. I started to get to a certain point where I could not sleep. Like, I couldn't sleep. After I figured out how fake money was, I couldn't sleep. I started to think in my mind, I'm like, money is this fake. Money is printed from thin air, and yet I don't. I said, money is printed from thin air, and yet I don't have any. I don't have any money. Yet it's printed from thin air. They're printing trillions of dollars a day, and I don't have a million or billion of it. So I started to think inside of my mind, right? And I couldn't sleep. The only way for me to sleep is to get so drained that I have to go for a run. So one night I got up and went for a run. I'm running down the street. I'm running. And you know, I've always survived in the hood. I grew up in the hood. I grew up poor. I grew up in the hood, staying in hotels, staying in different things. Grew up in a single mother household. My mother tried her absolute best to take care of us. No matter what it was, my mother made sure that she could do what she can do. So I will always talk about my mother because she made sure she can do what she could do. And my father as well. Grew up with my father, but they split at a certain age. You know how relationships is. So I never hold anything against anybody. But one day I was just sitting here and I was thinking, money is fake. I have none. What can I do to go to sleep? So I went out for a run and I'm running down the street, dark pathway. And someone is riding on a bike. I have my earphones in, but this is why I'm a big advocate of not having earphones in. And right here, I have my earphones in, and I'm a big advocate of walking, of talking. I talk a lot. I said this before. Don't walk with your earphones in. Don't run at night with your earphones in. Don't do anything at night or anything with your earphones in or during the day, whatever it was. So I'm walking, I'm running. And he pulls up onside me. He says, "Oh, where you coming from?" I take my ear out. He said, "Where you coming from?" I said, "What?" He said, "Where you coming from? Are you coming by yourself?" I said, "What?" He said, oh. He started to get fearful because I wasn't afraid. So your mental model is very, very important. I wasn't afraid of him pulling alongside of me with a bike because I know I've kicked every single living man's ass who's ever challenged me in Mortal Kombat. Every man who has challenged me in the boxing ring, I have kicked his ass. Every man who has challenged me to a fight, I have kicked his ass. You need to understand something. You only lose to become better. The times you lose is to become better. You lose in training, but you don't lose when you actually fight. Do you understand? So he pulls up on side of me. He says these things, and I'm thinking, who this man? He thought I was going to be afraid. Do you not know who I am? He didn't know who I was. I'm Preem. I'm not a man to be afraid of a human, a mortal. What can a mere mortal do to Preem? What can a mere mortal do to me? I'm one with the Father. I'm one with Christ. What do you think you could do to me? So I continue running. And he turns around. He starts to say, "Oh, I'm sorry." "Of course you're sorry. I'm Preem. You know I would destroy you." I couldn't be afraid. That's not in my worldview. He knew I could switch on killer instinct in an instant. If I wanted to destroy him, I could. And I say a lot of times that people are lucky I believe in Christ. Christ makes me behave in a certain way, which if I didn't believe in him, a lot of people would be crushed. I can tell you something, a quick story. One of the family members of mine tried to start to get uphill and start to get in front of my face. And I could have destroyed him in a very instant because he's a loudmouth. He's a big, fat mouth. He has a big mouth. All he does is talk and yell. He yells himself into existence and yells himself into strength. And I could have destroyed him with my bare hands, but I chose not to because I believe in Christ. And these type of people believe that if you believe in Christ or if you believe in God, that you're weak. They think that because you are intelligent enough to let some things slide, that you won't destroy them. And I sat there knowing in my mind I could destroy him, but I didn't. But I sat there. He tried to get in my face. And that is the reason why some people won't get destroyed, but I will destroy. I want you to understand something. I will. There's certain times in life, this is the mental model you need. There's a certain time when you need to destroy someone's body in a boxing ring. And there are certain times where you do not need to destroy someone. You need to be able to be perspicacious enough to be able to understand when. So the point I'm trying to make is your mental model is important. How you view the world is important. If you don't view the world in the way of Preem, if you don't view the world in the way of absolute strength and start to get rid of every belief, everything that has took your power away from you, then you're still a slave. But you should view the world in absolute power. You need to understand that you're capable and you're worthy of everything. You need to walk through the earth understanding that your mind is the only thing that is most important. Your mind connects you to the spiritual, and your mind connects you to the physical. If your mind is not in control, then you're effectively a homeless man sitting on the street who has lost his mind. When you see a homeless man sitting on the street, guess what? He has effectively lost his mind. I see a lot of homeless men who have went crazy and lost his mind. So I want you to understand that you absolutely need to control your mind. You need to control your mind. Your mind is the only thing that you can control. If you can control your mind, you can win. And everybody knows where to find me. The losers won't find me there, but the winners will find me in t.me/Preem Operations, the free Telegram. They'll find me there because they understand that reality is important. And everything that the reality shows us, we can use as feedback, and they start to control their mind. But the people who don't, they leave. And they've already clicked off this video. They're losers, right? So all you need to do is keep trying and adapting your mental model into more power. You need to think, how can I become more powerful every day? How can I wake up and make myself more powerful? And I'm going to tell you right here, the key is to keep training. If you wake up and you train, even if you don't feel like it, I guarantee you will become powerful than ever before. Pain is necessary for you to become a greater component in life. Because if you can wake up and you can dedicate yourself to the gym, you can dedicate yourself to anything. That's why I'm not an advocate of skipping days of the gym. I know there's faggots out there who skip days of the gym. No, you need to train every single day because training is starting to become a mental product for me at this point. Training is starting to become very, very mental. This is a mental discipline at this point. My body is already fantastic enough. In fact, I look like a Greek god. I'm 6 foot and I look like an absolute Greek god. So training is starting to become mental discipline just to see if I can do it. Just to see if I'm tired enough. Just to know that if I still have it. And also I use training to go to sleep because I can't sleep. I'm being very, very transparent. I can only sleep if I go train so hard and run so hard that I can sleep. So I want you to do something. There's a sacrifice. I want you to do something. I want you to believe that the sacrifices of life only if you believe that everything is capable. You need to believe in yourself. You need to believe that everything is possible. Only if you can believe. They've stolen your belief. This is why I tell you to join t.me/Preem Operations. I instill the belief back inside yourself, which the world has took. And if you can't even join that, I don't know what to tell you. I can't help you. And then most of these people in Preem Operations, I tell you to watch the videos. Watch my long form videos. Watch all of these videos so you can instill a mental model inside of yourself that makes you more competent, more competitive than ever before. And you can start to get revenge on the people who doubted you. But it seems like most people don't even want to watch the long form, which is why you need to become greater than them before and keep coming back. My long form is a secret, is a way out. I know that people won't watch full 10 plus minutes of me ranting and talking about how to become better than ever before. I know people are distracted. So those who can watch, guess what? You have an unfair advantage inside the multiverse. This is why I talk in these lengths. And that is you. And that is why you're going to win. You know where to find me. T.me/Preem Operations, even Substack.com/JPreem. You know where to find me. I'll see you there.